Beautiful peoples, welcome. Welcome to Hood Philosophy, where we're going to talk about and maybe even try and answer some of life's biggest questions in a way that clicks with people from all walks of life. So I'm Z, and before I introduce myself properly, yeah, I got a notepad here. I wanted to be prepared, you know. I'm just going to touch on what the show's about, what we're going to talk about, how we're going to have them uncomfortable conversations, and yeah. So I've wanted to make a podcast for a little while now, and finally I got around to doing it. I'm going to get better looking at the camera, by the way. This is going to be a learning process, so bear with me. Each time I'll get better. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. I've wanted to make a podcast for a little while now, and finally we're here. We're doing it. I've stopped being. I've started doing, and so I listen to lots of podcasts that speak to a certain kind of people, and sometimes they don't quite articulate what their what their message is in a way that reaches all walks of life. So like I'm talking about the hood cats. I'm talking about the single mums. I'm talking about like high functioning people with disabilities, even people with disabilities, people recovering from addiction. Um, but then I believe that I, I can talk to the other side as well. So like your teachers, your lawyers, your doctors. Don't worry that I don't look as smart as them. I'm uh, I've been blessed to be able to speak in a way that people understand, and people from all walks of life. So I'm going to go back to my notepad just so I do have a little bit of structure. Yeah, so they're the people that I'm trying to reach. I wouldn't say I'm quite trying to reach everybody that already listens to a podcast. I'm looking for the people that probably think that this is a little bit of a waste of time. I'm looking for the too hard basket, and we're going to keep this real. We're going to keep this raw. We're going to keep this authentic. I'm going to take you through the process of what it's like to make a podcast, you know, with everybody, because it's pretty cool, eh? Like, who would have thought 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago that I'd be sitting here talking to the world? That's insane. Insane. So anyway, I better introduce myself. My name's Z. I'm 35, turning 36 this year. I was born and raised in Nala. Nala's the hood. That's why this podcast is called Hood Philosophy. And yeah, so my background is I was born in Australia. My mum is Fijian Indian. My dad was from Melbourne. He's passed on now, bless his soul, about 5 years. Um, I'm a very proud Muslim, proud devout Muslim. Don't come at me when it comes to issues of like when it comes to things regarding my faith. I stand very firm with my feet on the ground. So how do I sum myself up? So I'm a leader, I'm a poet, I believe I'm a little bit of a philosopher, hence the name of the podcast again. But I'm also a father to three beautiful kids. I've got two boys and a girl, um, and I'm a husband to a beautiful wife. I've been married for almost no, I think it's 15 years. Let's keep it real. I'm terrible at keeping up with how long, and I ask you fellas to hold me to account. But yeah, you're going to hear lots of ums and ahs. And in regards to taking you fellas through the process, I'm not going to edit the ums and ahs. I want this to be real. Like it has to be authentic. If for me, if I start editing these videos to make them look like something that they're not, then there's no point for there's no point for me. Tim, should I be looking at the camera or should I be looking at this screen?
Camera.
The camera. All right. Okay. So I think I'm doing a pretty good job of looking at the camera. Slowly, slowly. So anyway, so yeah, married about 15 years. It's been a journey. I'm a much better husband today than I was, say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and whoo, yeah. Um, I'm also a brother. I have a little brother who's currently in the UK, and he does similar work to what I do. I'll get into that in a second. Um, I'm really proud of the brother. He took the leap to move to the other side of the world, and he wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and he still did it. And and I guess that kind of sets the tone for the show, because I'm gonna go back and forth, because that's what I do. This is how I talk. I may as well keep it real. The show's going to be about uncomfortable conversations. It's like I don't do small talk. I struggle with small talk. I like conversations with substance. You know, I like getting uncomfortable. I like making people feel uncomfortable, and not in a way that harms, that hurts people. No, when we engage in these conversations, sometimes things click with us, and that's where real growth lies. And I just kicked the table. I got to be honest with you, fellas. I was pretty anxious in the lead up to this one. I still got the butterflies in my stomach. But I think when you voice these feelings, and how you feel about them, you automatically feel a little bit better about them. See, I started to get the hands going, but the hands are still a little bit clammy, which is cool. And you know what that means? It means I care. It means I care about what I'm doing here today. So anyway, I'll get back to it. So I'm very, very proud of my brother. So, and obviously I'm also a son. Um, yeah, love you, mum. My mum's an RN up north. She's made that sacrifice to travel up north and ply her trade up there. One of the best registered nurses that I know. She's one of the many reasons why I'm very, very good at what I do, blessed as I am. Yeah. So, and my old man, he passed 5 years ago, and it's still a learning process in regards to how I deal with that one. But I'm pretty good when it comes to death and the like, which kind of leads me into what I'll be talking about next, my professional life. I spent a good 7, 8 years working in aged care. I worked in normal nursing homes. Normal's not the right word, but yeah. So I worked in locked men's units, so men with Alzheimer's and dementia that were a little bit naughty, and that was good fun. It was kind of a little bit of a preparation for later on in my work life. Yeah, but today I turn boys into men. My role was a support worker, but I work with young fellas that have disabilities, primarily 18 to 34 is where I'm looking to spread what I spread. Um, these young fellas usually struggle from severe mental health issues and ADHD and autism, and they have absolute beautiful souls. I am blessed in regards to getting to wake up every single morning and wanting to go to work, wanting to go to work. And I'm very good at what I do. I've I've worked hard to become the best support worker that I can be. See, people take me out of context when I say I'm the best. The reason I'm the best at what I do is because I do it. And I gotta stop rocking, don't I? But yeah. So anyway, I'm the best because I understand, right? That I know nothing. and that every day is a different day, but tomorrow's going to be a better one because I got to get, I got to do better. I got to be better every single day. So when you hear me say that I'm the best, don't take me out of context. That's up to you though. I don't mind. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. I'm at peace with the man I am today, you know, and that's and I'm very blessed to be in the place I am today. I'll keep it 100 with you. I need a drink of water. Oof. That's cool. We've been talking for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So yeah, isn't it interesting, eh? When I first got into aged care, it was just because I burnt my leg and I couldn't do the hard yakka, the physical labor. And at first it was just a job, and then you start connecting with people, and then you get better at connecting with people, and then you hear the old fellas' stories and how they persevered and how resilient they were, and you hear some war stories, and they just humble you. That's what working with people does. It humbles you, and and I'm unbelievably blessed to wake up every single day and get to go serve people because I've done things in my life that got to stop rocking, or maybe I don't got to stop rocking. You just go with me, eh? I done yeah. Anyway, so like yeah, I done things in my life that I'm never gonna be able to make up for, and the opportunity to go and give back every day is something that I will always be grateful for. Gratitude. Yeah, I'm grateful for today. I'm excited for today. I'm joyful for today. That's something that you're going to hear a lot of in the near future. Gratitude's a big one for me. But anyway, yeah. So I work for a few companies and I have a private client. It's pretty cool. But that's probably enough about the professional life. You're probably wondering how did you get here? You look you look a little bit rough. Well, I'm from the hood. You know, I've always been a little bit book smart. I've always the power of knowledge is very profound and close to my heart. I love books. I don't have much of an imagination. It's something that I'm working on slowly but surely. You know, it comes with time when you don't know where you're at, you don't know who you are. And I didn't know that I didn't have much of an imagination. And then like I get to spend some time with some young fellas, some young autistic fellas, and they just blow my mind, man. Their stories, the thought processes, it's just like wow. Because I'm an analytical thinker. Like yeah, I'm a critical thinker. I like to answer questions. Like, do I like to ponder questions? Sometimes I like to sit with things, but sometimes, like, my mind works quick. All right, we went off on a little bit of a tangent there, but I did it on purpose, because I seen we're coming up to 14 minutes, and I dare say you fellas need a little bit of a break from me. Well, I need a little bit of a break from you fellas. Nah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So after the break, we're going to get into how I got here. It's been a long journey. Bless. I have to admit, it's been a rocky journey. Lots of trials and tribulations, but fuck, man, there's been so much growth. Anyway, we'll chat more after the break, eh? Welcome back. Welcome back to Hood Philosophy. I noticed that I double up on things. Anyway, so I was talking about growing up in Nala. Nala's a tough place. Nala's a rough place. Sometimes, there were times in Nala where you couldn't walk down the street without, you know, the possibility of danger. It's a place that makes you tough. It either breaks you or makes you tough. But it's also a place that where community and and connection is important. Don't get me wrong. I've rolled with some cats that you would think are a little bit unsavory, but they got big hearts, man. And lots of these fellas, if they channeled that energy into different places, oof, the world would be a greater place. Let me tell you right now. See, the hood has everything. It's it's a it's a melting pot, right? You know, you got you got drugs, you got violence, you got addiction, you got abuse, you have it all. You have it all. And for for the first few followers that watch this podcast, it's let me tell you now, it's a different way of growing up. Because I didn't come from a poor family. Don't get me wrong, we were working class and we lived week to week. More so because, yeah, my parents worked hard to put food on the table. I'm not one of these people that get it twisted. See, like, we grew up rough, right? We grew up tough, but we had food in our bellies and we had the roof. We had clothes on our backs. Um, we didn't have brand clothes, and that's what led down to the hustle. And that's when you grow up in a place like Anala, drugs and the like is everywhere around, right? And like goods that have been acquired in a certain way, and even just when you don't have much, you want for the like you want everything you don't have, especially when you're a young fella. And how do you get coin when you're a young fella? And for me, I've always worked, but I got my hustle on. And I love the hustle. See, for me, being a hustler doesn't mean being a dope dealer, being a drug dealer. It's being an entrepreneur. See, people are going to disagree with me when I say this, but like, why? What's what's the difference? See, a hustler doesn't just hustle drugs. He hustles CDs, shoes, clothes, hats, all these different kinds of things. Basketball cards, whatever is the talk of the day. That's what a hustler is getting his grind on. He's that's what he wants to sell because he wants to make that money. And sometimes not even because he necessarily needs that money to feed his family or 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 that. Don't get me wrong, 99% of the time that's where it comes from. But once the hustle is in you, it don't leave you. Yeah. This so yeah, Nala's a beautiful place. I don't go back much. I I kind of had to cut everybody I knew, all the places that I frequented, just my whole social connection to the place I had to cut because when my best friend hung himself, this is back when I was 22. Um, I started the journey of being a better person, and I apologize for my language, not being a shit cunt, right? Uh, I wanted to stop being a shit cunt. I wanted to stop making excuses. I wanted to become more resilient. I wanted to be a better father. I wanted to be a better son. I really wanted to be a better husband, and, and at the crux of it all, I wanted to be a better man. And the only way to do that is to stop what you're doing, right? You know, if you take it from me now, you want to stop being a shit cunt, stop, and don't get it twisted, man. It's hard fucking work. Looking at yourself in the mirror and doing that self reflection, whoo that that takes heart. And some of us have more of it than others, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You know, like it might be hard for some of you to hear, but just remember that I say that with absolutely no judgment, only love. That's what I'm about. Love, love. That's it. Love and respect. Love, respect, greatness. Walk with me. Let's walk in greatness. So anyway, back to Anala and the like and the hustle. I've sold dope for the majority of my adult life for a long time, not because I wanted to, not even because I had to. I felt like I had to. I'm I'm the only one that works at home. See, like I almost sound like I'm starting to justify previous behavior, but to me, context matters, right? It has to matter. It can't just be black or white. Because I know for you, it's not for black or white. So when when people sit in judgment, I want you to ask yourselves, what if I was them? Would I have done differently? What would I have done differently? How would I have done it differently? Why would I have done it differently? Because I dare say you're going to land on, nah, I would have done the exact same thing. Yeah. And like, you want your family to have a comfortable lifestyle, right? Not even so much comfortable. I don't want comfortable for my kids. Like, I want my kids to know the struggle. Like, and not so much the struggles that we went through when we were kids, but just some level of hardship that makes them that little bit tougher, you know, because that's what we need to get through this life. We need a little bit of, you know, what the Maldives call mana. Yeah. Um, Selling drugs leads to doing drugs leads to addiction, especially when you've got a addictive personality such as mine. Um, Oh, not too many ums. I'm pretty happy with the ums. What do you reckon, guys? I reckon I'm doing a pretty good job so far, eh? I thought, today I was shitting myself. I even had a few thoughts as to like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this. Phew, lucky, lucky I took the leap. I've already decided too that that's what the next episode's going to be about. Taking the leap. We're going to have a chat about that one because that takes courage. Like I told you, I go back and forth, and that's what this podcast is going to be about. Because that's what real discussion and conversation is like, right? You know, people jump in, they cut each other off. Don't get me wrong, I want to be a super communicator. That means active listening is always paramount and front of mind for me. I try and flow with the conversation or the discussion that is happening in real time. Sometimes I get that right, sometimes I get that wrong, but I learn and I make sure that I don't make that same mistake again. Not in its entire form, right? I want to break it down and have something that I can work on that's realistic. That's realistic. It has to be realistic. Well, anyway, back and forth we go. Yeah, so that leads to addiction. So my drug of choice was crack, meth, whatever you want to call it. I've always, yeah. No, I won't go into that. That's yeah. I'm not a big believer in that one. See, we have back to Anala. We have a bit of a moral code in Nala, eh? Like people don't understand it, but one thing is you don't really talk about what you did. You can talk about things that might have happened, but you don't talk about who did it, when it happened, where it happened. None of this. You don't get into that. You know. That's That's for then. That doesn't mean it can't be talked about. This isn't the space to talk about it, I guess. But like, almost lost the thought process a little bit. But yeah, there's and back to the moral code and Nala, it's like we don't talk to police, and there's a reason for that. You know, we've had interactions with police that like, why the fuck, like that's. But that's not me. Like that's me personally. I don't advocate anything in regards to that. So yeah, so my drug of choice was crack. I I sold it as well. I sold it to feed my habit. I'll keep it real with you. Um, I I carried on that path for a few years. I seem to learn fast. I'm very blessed that like I do seem to have a little bit of intellect and common sense in regards to like the line, and I always come right up to that line, and then kind of just teeter on it and push just that little bit, just to see, just to see where we're at. But then the best friend, the beautiful bro Blair, took his life, and that absolutely rocked me to my core. So my last drink was at the wake for his funeral. I had to get I had to get messy one last time for the bro. Yeah, let me say a few words on Blair. I looked up to Blair, and I dare say you'll hear more about Blair in future episodes because he had a profound impact on my life. I lived with him in New Zealand, um, and just the way he walked, like before, I was saying the Maldives call it mana, right? Like he was one of the heartiest fellows that I've come across in this life. And in all honesty, I still haven't come across someone that, yeah, just he was tough, man. And when he took his life, my my world seemed to just almost fall apart. Like everything. It was a ripple effect. Um, Relationships fell apart, families fell apart, lots of connections lost. And then one day, I made the decision I needed to quit. Me and the missus had separated. She'd gone with the boy to her uncle's house. If I was her, I would have done the exact same thing. Like I said before, I was a shit cunt and I make no excuses for that. One thing you'll learn about me is I keep it real, especially when it comes to myself. I I live a life of accountability. I'm looking to do nothing but give back. I live I live a life of service to others, and for me, that shit is real. People talk about it, but that's deep within my being. That's deep within my soul. So yeah, um, me and the missus had separated. My brother ripped into me. One of the other brothers, he made me cry one night. We were all on the crack, and he wasn't. He didn't fuck with it. He was smart enough. Hopefully one day you fellas get to meet him. He's a hood cat, and he's OG. And I'd like to get him on the podcast just so you fellas get to hear him. Um, but anyway, yeah, he ripped into me one night, and he was standing over me. And he was just telling me, "Hey, like, is this who you really want to be?" And nah, it wasn't. It wasn't. So a culmination of a couple people and a couple other things that happened that I can't really speak on led me to the decision that I need to quit. Yeah. Um, so that's what I did. Cold turkey. Not many people can do it. Pat myself on the back for it still. It's like I'm tough, like When I tell myself I'm going to do something, I do it, and that's how I did it. Uh, Let me tell you a story. So I'm at home with the old man, and I'm cooking cold turkey, and he comes upstairs and he sees me on the couch, and I'm having stomach cramps. And, even as I say it, my stomach goes queasy because it's different, eh? It's different. But what can you do? And the old man, do you want me to call an ambulance? You want me to call an ambulance? Nah, it's all right, Dad. There's nothing they can do for me anyway. He called the ambulance anyway because he was worried, eh? Um, and fair enough. Paramedics come, take one look at me, yeah, and they pretty much said, "You're giving up." Yep. You need any help from us? Nah. My apologies. Sorry that your father's had to come out. And yeah, it was intense, man. And so yeah, that was the last day. That was the last time that I'd smoked a crack pipe, and then we quit. And it's been a long journey, but I'm not going to get into that today. That's for another time. That's probably a period of that's a period of almost 14 years. Almost 14 years. So I've got lots to tell you. There's no point filling your heads with too much. Which takes me back to my notepad. Want to see my notepad? Just so you know. Yep. First podcast, got to use the notepad. Give you a little bit of structure, you know. All right. So I'll talk about what what I do these days outside of work. So I build community. Um, I started a group called Nothing But Love. It's a WhatsApp group, and it's a place for people to be themselves and talk about these kind of things without any judgment and just love, eh? Just love. Like the group is so cool that there's people from all walks of life in there, different religions, different races. Don't get me wrong, not everybody engages, but it's a work in progress. We're molding it, right? You know, like slowly, more people will engage, more people will feel comfortable, more people will feel like they're talking to each other. Um, and yeah, that actually the group came from a morning message that I started in about September, October last year, and it got to the point where I'll send it to so many people that I thought, why not try and facilitate interaction, right? Connection, community, and bring all these people together, which is pretty fucking cool. I'll be honest with you, I see the group as a miracle. Um, it can be hard work, you know, but it's fun, and it's a way of giving back, and it's a way of expressing myself of the the level of growth that I've got from the group is so fucking insane. And then watching all the people in the group and the level of growth, and even just the way people open up about their trials and tribulations when they're having shit days, when they're having good days, like when they've achieved something, you know, like um, there's a lady called Emily in there. She's coming up on 2 years sober. I'm pretty sure tomorrow. Like it's cool. It's cool, you know. Um, and there's lots of natural born leaders in the group, and that's what my vision is, because that's what all this ties into, right? Like, because I've got here building community, and then we're going to talk about me waiting for a mentor, and then me talking about my vision. But fuck that. Let's just put it all together. We got we got 10 minutes left on this video, so we'll see where we go. All right, walk with me. Let's walk in greatness. All right, because that's my vision. It is where everybody comes together, right? Black, white, yellow, red, purple, big, skinny, overweight, anorexic, drug addicts, people who hate drugs, hood cats, lawyers, doctors, everybody, Muslims, Christians, Jews, Buddhists, people of all ages, from young fellas, from young cats to older fellas like Reg at the gym. He's so cool, man. Um, but yeah, and but if so that I guess that leads me to talking about waiting for a mentor so long. So long, like especially at work in the disability space. I waited for someone to come along and take me under their wing. um, I waited, I waited, I waited, and then I realized ain't nobody coming, man. I do this shit myself. If I want to be a leader, then I gotta be a leader. I gotta act like a leader. I gotta talk like a leader, and I gotta walk like a leader. You know what that means? It means having a vision that people from all walks of life can buy into. Because if you believe in the notion of leadership, right, then you have to believe in bringing people with you, and for that you need a vision for them to buy into. And for me, community, connection, love, that's that's the vision. And you know how that emanates for me? Greatness. And that's why I say, and and I ask of everybody that listens to and watches this podcast to walk with me in greatness. It's going to be a slow journey, but it's going to be a beautiful journey. It's we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get uncomfortable as fuck. Oh, let me tell you right now, we're gonna get uncomfortable. And I'm keen now. I need to drink water. We've been talking 22 minutes without a break. Poo-wee. Because the bro, Tim, he's I I have to give thanks to the brother Tim for letting me use his setup for my first podcast. Give us a shout, Tim. Yeah. Um, and thank you, Renee, too. Happy birthday to your old man. That's where these fellas are going as soon as I finish up here. Too much. Too much. Thank you, bro.
I love you, bro. Pleasure being here with you, man.
Much love. So yeah, greatness. Greatness, all right. So what does greatness mean to me? I did write a couple things down, but like I'm forever banging on about greatness, right? So for me it's a mode of being. So it's holding myself to a standard above the rest. What do I mean by standard above the rest? It means no excuses, doing the little things, showing up every day, routine, structure, consistency. And there's no ifs or buts about it. That's what greatness means to me. And it's interesting because what I got written down, did you see the way it flowed? Because I believe in my vision, and with time, no doubt you will too. Because this shit is not only is it real, it's beautiful. We're creating miracles. Yeah, and I'll get back to greatness. No stress. No stress. Getting back to what like we've been doing, what we've been getting done. No, I won't cross my arms. That's not good body language. You don't want to sit with, I want to sit podcast and cross down. That means you're closing off. You want to stay open. Some good posture, you know. Um, One thing you fellas will realize is I like to take the piss out of myself because I'm very honest with myself. I'm very comfortable with myself. Um, but yeah, so another thing that we've got going on is me and one of the brothers from the group, Emmanuel. I work with him at a company called Autism Queensland. We do some good work. Emmanuel's very, very good at what he does. And once you get to meet Emmanuel, you understand why. He has a very calm energy that like people just want to gravitate towards, right? He has a smile that lights up a room, a laughter that yeah, you will get to know. So I think it was like I met him at training, and then invited him to the group. He started engaging, we made plans to meet up. He came around my house, and it just flows, like when you're in sync with someone, and bang, you're gonna do some shit with that fella, or that person. Sorry, um, and yeah, that night we talked, and we some ideas went back and forth, but we didn't really like talk about actually doing anything. And then I texted him, I was like, bro, like if we don't do something together, I feel like we're gonna waste an opportunity here. And and obviously the brother Emmanuel felt the same, and he floated the idea of barbecue to me, and bang, let's go. All right, I'll run with it. You give me an idea these days that I see, like if it aligns with me and my vision and my purpose and bringing people together, let's fucking do it. I'm there with you. And and, and I ask you fellas, don't be scared to hit me up, to become part of the group, to join us on our barbecues, which have turned into a bushwalk. So the second one that we did, we went for a bushwalk up at Tambourine, which is falls there, beautiful. What a fucking experience! Let me tell you right now, watching all this come together. Whoo! Like there's people that will probably watch this podcast that didn't come to bushwalk and the barbecue. Come, man. It's yeah, like so that one that's good fun. What else is linked to the group? So we have a barbecue coming up on it's the last Saturday of July of this month, where I'm gonna do my best to get as many people as I can from the group together and just connect, meet each other, chat some shit, play a game of touch, have a good feed, and just be love, just be love, show up with love, nothing but, because that's what we're all about. That's what the group's about. That's what I'm about. That's what this podcast is going to be about. um oh, another I don't notice all the ums, do I? And yeah, I'm just looking at my notepad. Yeah, so that's going to be on the last Saturday of this month. That's going to be good fun. We're gonna see how we go. I don't know how many people we're gonna get there, but I don't care. I don't care. Another thing you'll learn is I love a bit of failure. I'm used to rejection. One thing this group has fortified me for is rejection. I'm like, people are forever telling me no, because I can be a little bit annoying, right? I'm very high intensity. I'm constantly interacting with people. I'm expecting them people to interact with me all the time as well. My apologies to you, beautiful peoples. I get it. Yous will learn with time that this fella can be just a little bit overbearing. Yeah. And anyway, we're almost coming to the end of this video. What's that? So I wanted to do 30 minutes today. We've ended up doing 45 minutes. All right. So how are we going to finish? I've got a couple quotes here. I wanted to speak on why I think I'm the right person to do this kind of podcast, but I'm going to leave that for the start of next episode. And I want to leave you with these quotes. And I'm going to do better at getting the references for quotes as well. It's all a learning process, right? But I just want you to sit with these quotes for this time round. So, happiness isn't feeling good; it's being good. Happiness isn't feeling good; it's being good. And both these quotes I've heard on podcasts in the last week, and I thought they were quite profound. The second one is, it's not what we belong to; it's who we belong to. So they're the two quotes that I'm going to leave you with. I just want to give thanks to all you beautiful peoples who took the time to listen, to watch me bang on, and just spread that love. The only thing I ask of you is walk with me. Let's walk in greatness. Everybody, blessed day, blessed evening, wherever you may be. Let's go, eh? Cheers! Peace.